Wayne's 25 years in the Canadian military meant following orders and living where he was deployed.
I want to be the guy out there in the rice field.
Redneck in the rice fields.
Redneck in the rice field.
A life-altering experience led Wayne to retire from the service and go in search of who he was as a civilian.
This was a Finding Wayne mission.
Seemingly by fate, Wayne found himself and his future home.
This is exactly what I want.
Off the grid on the tiny island of Tablas in the Philippines.
This is where I'm supposed to be, and I'm super excited to find a place to live, to start this adventure of being off the grid. This is absolutely beautiful. This is exactly the kind of view that we're looking for.
But finding an off-the-grid house doesn't happen with military precision.
They forgot to extend the wall all the way.
No, it's our ventilation.
Oh, so animals can come in.
Do I just bite it? Just bite it?
We are a blended family. Between us, we have 6 children, and it was actually quite remarkable how well we all seem to get along.
Yeah, so good.
But after a lifetime in the military, Wayne had to reevaluate his life.
This whole adventure was for me. This was a Finding Wayne mission, finding myself away from the military. Being in the military for so long, it becomes part of you. It was very, as they say, gung-ho. It was just my way of life. But there's not a lot of control. I was in Libya, and I got a call that my son had passed away.
I got a phone call not too long after, and he just said to me, I think I'm done, babe. I can't do this anymore.
It really changed my thinking. It kind of gave both myself and Cynthia a realization of how short life can be.
He said he wants to backpack for a year.
Cynthia said, well, I'll just spin a globe, and wherever our finger lands, that's where we will start. And it actually landed on the Philippines. We didn't know where Tablas Island was. We had never heard of Tablas Island, and we lived in the beach house in the small village, and we had no internet, no phones. We were totally unplugged from the world.
We got to our beach house, and we stepped inside, and Wayne broke down weeping. He just said, I'm home. He said, this is where I'm supposed to be. And I agreed.
Once we had made the decision to do the move, there was no stepping back. We basically liquidated everything that we owned down to 10 little boxes. What can go wrong? Many things can go wrong with this.
Cynthia and the girls went back to Tablas to set up the house hunt.
You usually learn about land through the locals. You just have to put the word out.
I stayed here in Victoria, making sure that the boys were set up in their apartment before we cut ties with Canada and left. Tablas Island is in the middle of the Philippines.
It's quite a remote island, not yet discovered.
Tablas is a farming / fishing province, so the people are very down to earth.
We have a very simple life, very peaceful life. Everything we want is here.
There's not a lot of foreigners on the island. There's not a lot of technology on Tablas. There's no shopping centers, no theaters, there's no large infrastructure. If you see more than 5 cars in a row, it's a traffic jam. It's cash-only island. There is no debit. There is no credit cards. It's very pristine, very picturesque, beautiful, beautiful scenery, beaches, mountain tops, thick, lush jungles. It is a South Asian tropical paradise.
We're looking to purchase something here on the island that we can kind of get away, have our own privacy.
Off the grid, remote. It could either be a house or it could be property. If it doesn't have an ocean view, I certainly would not be interested in something like that.
How many bedrooms?
I think a minimum of 2, but room to expand.
So that we can have whoever we want it come and visit us in the Philippines.
Something with some land. I want something that I can work the land.
Wayne and I both want a traditional Filipino-style home.
Something close to the beach.
And maybe someplace that either has a pool or we could build a pool.
I love to cook. The kitchen is my happy place. That's my refuge. It has to be a large kitchen.
And what is your budget?
Our budget at this time is approximately $250,000.
Here in Tablas, a lot of property which is for sale. There is already cottages, and sometimes it's only a vacant lot.
Saji thinks House 1 is perfectly suited to help these Westerners make the paradigm shift to island living. But it might not be as off the grid as they would like.
It doesn't feel very remote. There's lots of neighbors.
Oh, but look at the view.
I know.
Oh
look,
my
the
goodness.
view is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, you have 3 different ocean views here.
Saji, it's a really large house. How many bedrooms?
Yes, we have 2 bedrooms, but you can have a 4-bedroom.
Oh, okay, so that's great.
The land is 2.5 acres,
And price?
$300,000 US.
50,000 over our budget.
So this is the inside design of the house.
Wow, look at the vaulted ceilings.
So that is perfectly designed to be a typhoon-proof house.
I see that. This is all concrete.
Yes. And this is the living area.
Oh, the living area is
Yeah.
quite large, actually. It's nice.
Yes, it could be a dining and living.
Excellent.
I
Yeah,
really
it's
love the
very
vaulted ceilings. That's quite lovely. It's really open, and we can enjoy sitting and having a light, airy feeling.
So this is the kitchen area.
It's not a bad kitchen space. I would like something a little bit larger. It doesn't leave much room for expansion, though.
I think it would really extend the budget even more, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that. Wow, this is a great size room. Wow, so airy, actually.
And the other bedroom is almost the same.
Well, this is lovely.
Yeah, it's a very nice large space, actually. The house is absolutely beautiful with a potential to build another 2 bedrooms upstairs.
So look at the view.
Wow, this is great.
Yeah, it
I
is
love
absolutely beautiful.
It is. It's fantastic.
It'd be a great area to just to chill out.
So what do you think about the property?
I love the size of the house. I think it's quite lovely. Although inside, not as much native design as I would like. And it is 50,000 over our budget.
I like that I can have my gardens and my animals. I do find that it has a lot of really close neighbors, and I would like something a little more remote.
Wow, this is amazing.
House 2 is so remote, it requires an alternate form of transportation to get to it.
It's kind of tippy out here.
You can't get any more beautiful than this.
After the loss of his son Kevin, Wayne set out with his wife and daughters to travel the world, heal his family, and find himself.
Because of what had happened, we had decided that the best thing for us was to reconnect with our children and just live a much simpler, quiet life. And off the grid is really the only way you can do that.
On the spin of a globe, they picked the Philippines as their starting point and immediately hit pay dirt.
He just said, I'm home.
Look how beautiful this is. This is exactly what I want. For us moving off the grid, it kind of gives us a chance to get the family together, go back to simple family values.
Look at this fella in his rice field. That's going to be you. You're going to be tending to your cows and working on your land, and you ready for that?
That's exactly what I want. I want to be the guy out there in the rice field.
Redneck in the rice fields.
Redneck in the rice field. It's not all about financial gain. It's really about peace and enjoying your life. And I'm super excited to start this adventure of being off the grid.
The first house they saw had the land Wayne wanted
2.5 acres.
and an ocean view for Cynthia.
Wow, this is great.
Yeah, it is
Love it.
absolutely
Fantastic.
But it wasn't as off the grid as they had envisioned.
I do find that it has a lot of really close neighbors, and I would like something a little more remote.
Are we going by boat?
Yes, ma'am.
Saji takes Wayne's request to heart for House 2, but Wayne soon discovers the challenges of remote locations.
It's kind of tippy out here. Lots of waves.
I like the remoteness.
What happens when it's typhoon season? But the 20-minute boat ride is a little bit of a challenge.
So this is the place.
Wow, it is incredible.
This is absolutely beautiful.
This is amazing.
So you like the place?
I love the view.
I
Yeah.
love the view. It's
Perfect view.
beautiful. And the only way to get here is by boat.
Well, that totally adds to being off the grid.
It does.
This is a natural roof here,
Okay.
made of nipa. And we put some net to protect from the strong
Oh.
wind.
Okay.
And if it is damaged, it's very easy to repair.
But we definitely love to take a look inside.
Yeah,
the
let's go
home.
look inside. Wow, this is great.
I like the whole native design. Has a very good feel.
Is there a source of water for this?
Yes.
Okay. And it's on the property?
Yes.
Okay.
You said it was bamboo?
Yeah, that is made of bamboo.
They forgot to extend the wall all the way.
No, it's our ventilation.
Oh, so animals can come in. Or spiders then.
That's good for you.
Spiders, great. Perhaps for me and the girls that might be a little bit scary. We don't really deal well with that sort of thing.
This is the only kitchen area?
Yes, this is the only kitchen.
We could remove maybe this wall. It does have room for expansion, but it would take a lot of renovation.
Oh,
So this is the first bed.
well, it's a little bit small.
So does all the furniture come with the house?
Yes, sir.
Oh, this is a little bit bigger.
It's still not large.
Again, we'd have to,
Extend the ceiling.
yeah,
But then you stop the ventilation.
definitely have to think about that as well.
If we did want to put the air conditioning, I think that would be a bit of a challenge with the airflow in the house. It would have to be sealed.
So what do you think?
Well, I think we really like how off the grid it is.
Like the native design and style. The size of the property is a bit small.
And I think for me, there's not a lot of room to have a pool, but when you have a whole ocean as your personal pool, then who needs one of those?
Would you have something with a little bit more space, a little more land, but still native styling?
Sure.
Whoa! Okay.
Yeah.
Who pulled the plug? Where'd all the water go? Okay, well, this really sort of adds to the off-the-grid challenge here.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my goodness, Wayne, look at that view.
House 3 offers land and native style.
Baby, look, we could have the pool right here overlooking the ocean.
But it's very difficult to build a pool.
After a lifetime of military service, Wayne headed out into the world to search for a new, simpler life that allowed him to spend more time with his family. He found it on Tablas Island in the Philippines. But after seeing 2 properties, they still haven't found what they're looking for. So on the way to House 3, Saji makes a stop.
This is another option, a vacant lot.
Wow.
This is exactly the kind of view that we're looking for. I had to go totally away from the military and go on this adventure to really find out who I was. Finding Wayne was finding me. The land is good for farming.
Yes, perfect for farming.
So how much land is there here and how much would it cost?
More or less 13 acres, and it costs $54,000.
It would take a while to build, but it is a viable option for us. So
Yeah.
we'll keep it in mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're also considering a Western-style house in a small neighborhood and a remote house that requires a 20-minute boat ride to reach.
Well, that totally adds to being off the grid. I like the whole native design.
It's our ventilation.
So animals can come in.
House 3 is remote, has land, and spectacular views.
I like that there's nobody around.
It has native style and is under budget, but it needs major work.
Oh my goodness, Wayne, look at that view.
This is absolutely beautiful.
Look, we could have the pool right here overlooking the ocean. How beautiful would that be?
But it's very difficult to build a pool.
The ground itself is mostly rock. It would be very difficult to dig something here.
The property is, the 2 cottages has 1 bedroom each, and the third one has 2 bedrooms, but it needs finishing.
So they all need to be finished then?
Yes.
Okay.
And what is the total cost?
Total cost is $230,000 US.
Well, that's good. It's still under the budget.
It is.
but then we'd have to look at the renovations.
I'm quite concerned that we might not be able to stay within our budget of $250,000 since we have to do a lot of the renovations to make it to our personal liking. Wow, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know, the view is still beautiful here.
I love that everywhere you go, you've got this panoramic view. That is so paramount. Well, that's a pretty good kitchen.
It's got a large counter, which I do like.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have to find a place maybe to expand a little bit.
Can extend it.
Actually, we could extend the counter maybe across
Yes.
this way for the kitchen. So the kitchen is much larger. I like that.
Yeah, you're noticing there's no water.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
there's
that's
no
all
power.
renovations we would have to complete.
We need a water pump and pipe into all of the units. Wow, babe, look at just, okay. This is the most spectacular view, and it's impeded by this wall,
But I agree, why would you not take this wall out?
and we could have it all glass.
This actually has a lot of potential for expanding for what we want. It's just the remoteness of getting materials here.
Yeah, I know, but right now I'm thinking about windows, glass, and beauty. I'm not thinking about the money.
You do pay a little more if you want something more remote, more secluded.
So what do you think?
It is certainly the most spectacular view that I've seen. I absolutely love the idea that we can do some renovations. A little bit concerned about how much that might cost.
Well, for me, I like the size of the land.
Yeah.
I like that I can have animals here, but there's really no room for me to have any type of like farming or rice
Yeah, and
fields.
that's really important. So
It
I
is,
really
it's
gotta
very
really gotta
important
think
to me.
about that.
We'll have to make a decision on what is best for what I want, what Cynthia wants, and is right for our family.
With no going back, this decision could determine what the rest of their lives look like.
I'm a little bit nervous.
I mean, this is what it's all about.
These house hunters are heading off the beaten path looking for adventure. See more exotic homes and catch up on full episodes at hgtv.com/offthegrid.
So, baby, we're really gonna do this. I'm a little bit nervous.
Wayne and Cynthia are looking to make a sea change in their lives on the remote island of Tablas in the Philippines.
This is what it's all about, living on a beautiful island like this.
With its solid Western-style construction, move-in ready House 1 would be the easiest route to adjust to island life.
That is perfectly designed to be a typhoon-proof.
I see that. This is all concrete.
Yes.
But that's not exactly what they had in mind.
Not as much native design as I would like.
And I would like something a little more remote.
And neither is the $300,000 price tag.
Wow, this is amazing.
House 2 is truly an island fantasy with its native style and oceanfront location.
I like the whole native design.
But even at only $100,000, its lack of land and typhoon-sensitive location are ruining the view.
The size of the property is a bit small.
What happens when it's typhoon season?
I like that there's nobody around.
House 3 is remote and more accessible.
Oh my goodness, Wayne, look at that view.
At $230,000, it's just under budget, but needs extensive work to complete.
A little bit concerned about how much that might cost. So, thinking about all three properties, I don't really feel that the modern style house really kind of fits into our liking.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like something a little more native style and being so close to the community and not being off the beaten track.
Yeah, so we should just put that one aside.
Okay.
So if we're comparing the beachfront to the cottages, both properties don't allow us to have a pool. And that's really one of those things that I want. Also, we have a lot of extra capital in the beachfront to do the bedrooms, knock the wall down, but there's not a lot of land for you to have your farming, and I know that's really important for you.
The hilltop cottages has more land. I can have animals. We can do a little more building there.
It wasn't finished. You know, I think that would go grossly over our budget. But you know what? Saji showed us that vacant lot. Why don't we just build something exactly what we want. Why do we have to buy something? We have a good budget. It might take a little longer, but so what? We're here. It seems silly not to do that, doesn't it?
I agree. Decision made.
Are you sure?
I think we should buy the land.
Okay, good.
With almost 200 grand left in their budget to build, Cynthia went to town to create their dream home.
Cynthia was really the creative design and control over the building.
Because we had such a large budget, it really allowed me to create something really unique and beautiful. Starting with the house, we used all native materials on the land. So we actually have a beautiful view overlooking the Lo'ok Bay, which of course was very important to me. We built our house around 2 trees, so the trees actually go through the home, which is quite nice. So it's a little bit of whimsical fun. We wanted a 360-degree decking so that we could both look at all of the farm animals, we can look at our rice fields, and we can also look at the view and the pool and the bar all at the same time.
The papayas and the bananas are almost ready too, eh?
Cynthia built the largest kitchen I've ever got to work at.
I love my counter space. I love how big it is. It's open.
It's a 2-bedroom with a loft, and the loft area has space for 3 beds. So we basically can host all of our children all at the same time, which is quite nice. We were told from our engineer it would take 3 months to build this home. It took 4 times that. You have to be on island time. It did take us over a year to where we actually feel comfortable living inside the house.
They also have some new additions to the family.
Kevin and Bella.
Star named Kevin after her late brother.
For me, I found that quite peaceful in my heart that I got to connect with Kevin through an animal that, you know, he'll be forever my best friend.
Kevin's visiting me right now.
Bye, Snowflake.
I like feeding the animals. One of my really big joys is being around the animals. That's in your normal day. You have a routine, and it's very peaceful, simple life.
Dad, this is pretty awesome.
This is why I wanted to come here.
Welcome to Wayne's World. Cheers.
Cheers.